Hi everyone, welcome to Medicine Note YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see about third ventricle. We have already uploaded a video in fourth ventricle. Please do watch it. Now, the third ventricle is the one of the four connected fluid-filled cavity comprising the ventricular system within the brain. It is the one of the four fluid-filled cavity. The next one is lateral as well as fourth ventricle. It is a median cleft in the diencephalon. It is a median cleft. It is known as median cleft in the diencephalon between the two thalami, and it is filled with the cerebrospinal fluid. And this cavity is filled by the CSF, and it communicates anterosuperiorly on each side by the lateral ventricle through interventricular foramen. This third ventricle communicates with the lateral ventricle through the interventricular foramen, which is otherwise known as foramen of Monro. This foramen is bounded anteriorly by the column of fornix. The interventricular foramen, it is bounded anteriorly by the column of fornix, posteriorly by the tubercle of thalamus. Now, the third ventricle posterinferiorly is in the median plane. It communicates with the fourth ventricle. Now you will see the image for better understanding. And this is the third ventricle. It communicates anteriorly with the lateral ventricle through foramen of Monro, this is the foramen of Monro, which is otherwise known as interventricular foramen. And this is the third ventricle. And this is the cerebral aqueduct, which communicates with the fourth ventricle. These are the two openings of the fourth ventricle. I have already uploaded a video on the fourth ventricle. Please do watch it. Now we will see the recesses of the fourth ventricle. The recesses are the extension of the cavity. They are suprapineal, pineal, and infundibular, and optic and vulva. These are the recesses of the fourth cavity, which means the extension of the cavity. Now we will see the boundaries. The boundaries are anterior wall by lamina terminalis, anterior commissure, posterior column of fornix. The posterior wall by the pineal body, posterior commission, and cerebral aqueduct. These are the anterior and posterior wall boundaries and their relations. Now the roof it is formed by the body of fornix and ependyma lining under the surface of the telocardia of the third ventricle. The roof is formed by the fornix and ependyma lining. The choroid plexus of the third ventricle projects downward from the roof. At the junction of the roof within the anterior and lateral wall, there is an interventricular foramen. In the lateral wall as well as anterior wall communicates together. In that junction, there is interventricular foramen. Now we will see about the floor. It is formed by the hypothalamic structures, which is optic chiasma, tuber cinereum, infundibulum, mammalian bodies, posterior perforator substance, tegmentum of the brain. These are the floor contents. Now the lateral wall is formed by the medial surface of the thalamus, hypothalamus, as well as hypothalamic sulcus, which separates the thalamus from the hypothalamus. This hypothalamic sulcus, which separates the thalamus from the hypothalamus, the sulcus extends from the interventricular foramen to the cerebral aqueduct. It is the sulcus which extends from the upper part, which communicates with the lateral ventricle, which is interventricular foramen, which is otherwise known as foramen of Monro. From there to the cerebral aqueduct, where the third ventricle down, it communicates with the fourth ventricle. Now you will see the clinical anatomy. Obstruction of third ventricle due to brain tumor or by the development defects. If any obstruction of there is any obstruction due to the brain tumors as well as any abnormality defects, developmental defects, and the obstruction leads to the hydrocephalus in infant. This obstruction of the small canal, which is interventricular foramen or cerebral aqueduct, there might be a cause of a condition which is known as hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus means abnormal collection of CSF, which is cerebrospinal fluid in the head, which leads to the bulging of the head. There are more intracranial pressure, It happens mostly due to the infants. Tumor in the lower part of the third ventricle give rise to the hypothalamic symptoms. Any tumor in the lower part of the third ventricle also gives to hypothalamic symptoms. That's all about the third ventricle. Thank you. For more videos, please to like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. If you have any doubt in this video, please to comment it, or please to recommend any other topic for further discussion. Thank you.